Hello Pisces! Thank you very much for tuning into your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan. For supportive oracle cards, Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. Okay, I already shuffled. Relationship first, single second. This should be you. No, it's them. Okay, well this is interesting. Usually I start off with Pisces cards first, but it's your partner, and they've got this Ace of Cups going on there, and it seems like it's very intense here. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Your partner has the Ace of Cups. I feel like there's a problem here that they're unhappy with something, but they love you to the ends of the earth. Like, they love you to the ends of the earth, but there's definitely something they're unhappy about going on. It reminds me of the situation where somebody does something you don't like. You don't like what they're doing, but you love them. It's reminding me of that. And I'm getting the Four of Cups, but I'm also getting the Extremes card with it for them. It's like they're unhappy with something, but I feel like the way it's coming off, it's really way too intense. Not to make excuses. It is a general read, of course, but I'm feeling like outward sources, other things are affecting your partner. I'm feeling like a weird stress, pressure, which could be very minimal in the sense of like a cold or just not having enough time. Something is just aggravating them that they can't deal with. Something like there's something external they can't fix that's driving them crazy that they know they can't fix. But something you do is not something they like, and it's all like all their frustration for everything is coming out on you is what I'm getting. And I feel like, because you're having the Five of Cups in the shadow side here on your side, like, whatever's going on here, it's hitting you like a ton of bricks. Like, they're really coming down on you. Whatever they're saying, it's either biting words, it could be very biting words, it might even be that long or that intense, it's just the words they're using are very biting for you. Or it's just like, it's all getting dumped on you. All their frustration, everything they're upset about, it's all venting out towards you. You get the Five of Cups with the shadow side, like, it's really shaking you up. Like, this is bothering you. It's like, why is my partner so unhappy with me? Is it that bad? Has it been this bad for a long time? This is where your mind could get the better of you. And I'm noticing your challenge card here. Both of your challenge cards, I don't like how this is working. The situation could drag on if you're not careful. Because I'm seeing your partner with the Four of Pentacles, like, they're in this land of frustration, and I'm seeing them vent that towards you, but I feel like this is a bad way to work through that frustration, and it could linger for a while, so be careful of that. But you have the King of Wands on your side as your challenge card. The need to escape is what I'm feeling. And when I'm getting the King of Wands with the feeling of need to escape, the King of Wands, if he's decided, he, she, they, whatever, don't get caught up in the gender, but if they've decided that they need to ditch, like that's just what they're going to do, that's what they need to do, taking action on that, they can make that quick decision to do so. Like a king, like if a king decides it's best for their kingdom to like step out and walk away from a situation, they can make that decision very quickly. And I feel like what they're warning here is just be careful about making quick or snap decisions, quick decisions, because this could end up causing more damage down the road. The first step for you, because this is a reading for Pisces, more than likely a Pisces is watching this, is to get a hold of the situation and have that power moment where you realize everything coming at you is not yours. Like, even though it's being directed at you, it's being pointed at you, it's being said it's for you, all that energy, all that negativity is not something you deserve. And first stepping back and being like, I don't deserve all that, hold on. Realizing it's kind of like a bucket of water, it keeps coming at you, but you're like, I don't deserve all this. This isn't right. This is not something I should be getting. I did something that maybe my partner doesn't like, granted, and I understand that they don't like that, but all this intensity is not fair. I don't deserve this. And it's even stepping a little bit farther into it, realizing it's other frustrations they're dealing with, and they're just venting everything they're unhappy about at me because I'm taking it. So it's not me, but I shouldn't be taking all this. This is not mine. I should not be owning this. I may need to emotionally disconnect for a moment, but the thing is to emotionally disconnect and not physically disappear unless it's a negative situation. If it is an abusive situation, that's a whole nother story. So take that with a grain of salt. If they're physically abusive, you need to leave. And if it's verbal abusive, there may be another way to handle that too. You might need to leave because of that. So if it's an abusive situation, I'm not saying hang around for that. So don't take that the wrong way. But if they're just being little brats and they're being a brat that's like dealable, stepping back and saying, I don't deserve that, I don't own that, emotionally disconnecting from them but holding on and waiting for the storm kind of to pass might be more in line here. This energy, this bothers me. The Four of Pentacles, excuse me. Well, the Four of Wands isn't out, but that makes sense to me. When I'm saying Four of Wands, but looking at the Four of Pentacles, I'm worried that for some of you, this might be a normal way that things go. Your partner gets upset, frustrated, and you become the scapegoat for their unhappiness. If that's something that is constantly coming back, even if it's not physically or it's barely becoming, maybe it's hard to recognize as verbal abuse, it's bad, it's unhealthy. That might need to be rectified. That might not be being addressed correctly. So this scapegoat attitude, I don't like that. I know some people validate that, like that's what people do, but I don't think that's right. I don't think people should use other people as a way to vent out their frustrations. I don't agree with that. I don't stand with that. And if that's how this is going, if this is like a pattern, that needs to be dealt with in a different way. Because I'm getting that as the challenge card. If this is something there's just every now and then they get very frustrated with other things and then they take it out on you, no matter what way that's coming, that's unhealthy. That's not right. And that might need to be addressed in another way. Because I'm getting this, what is this, the Seven of Pentacles? I feel like this might not be a one-time situation. This might be a thing that keeps happening. And you got gratitude here with that. Almost like you've been surviving this, but when I'm feeling gratitude with this, it's kind of like you're grateful for the relationship, and I get that. But I feel like there needs to be an intimate talk about how this is really affecting you. And I feel like they need to be more grateful for your actual contribution and not so upset about little things. I'm getting this feeling of being dumped on, and I don't like it. And I get the gratitude here. And I feel like what they're saying is the first step in you getting control of this situation, look at the positives. Look, like you might want to do a positive, negative, like, that line on a piece of paper, positives, negatives, my relationship. What do you like about this person? What are the good points, the honestly good points of the relationship? And then I feel like what needs to happen is you need to start, well, you might have to do the negative too, just to be fair, just to see how bad are the negatives. Just to be fair, because if you're in an abusive situation, that's not acceptable. But hopefully if this is hitting correctly and well, because if it's abusive, you just need to leave. That's not acceptable. That's not fixable, I wouldn't say, depending on what you're dealing with. Of course, it's your ball of wax. You decide what's right. But centering on the positive, appreciating the positive, being happy for the positive, and not playing into the negative, or I don't know, the negative is not coming through. It's the gratitude they're really saying. They're saying highlight, to start off, to really get this going in a better direction, identify what's really good and highlight the good and promote the good. You need to be aware of the negative too, though. This reading doesn't feel like it's going that way, which is a little weird for me. Because I'm just like, if it's really that negative, you need to be aware of it and be sure it's not into a bad area. But they're saying highlight the positive, go with the positive, promote the positive, and let this person know how much you do love them back. The word guilt is popping in too. Don't let guilt play into this. That's not guilt isn't, I don't feel guilt is helpful. If somebody did something wrong, addressing it and correcting it and owning it, that's one thing. Guilt, I'm not a big one for guilt. Like, if you did something wrong, own it, fix it, address it, do something about it. But guilt is a slippery slope in my opinion. I'm getting a lot here with, like, this is a relationship, if this is truly hitting for the majority of you, it should not be a very bad relationship. But seeing it for what it really is, and letting this person know, having a talk with them, like, how their words are really affecting you. And that this isn't really good. This is not good. This is not acceptable for them to be venting on you when they're having a bad day. If they need to talk something out, talking something out is one thing. But attacking somebody or making somebody else feel bad to make you feel better, that is not healthy. I don't care what anybody says. I'm not going to agree with it. Making somebody else feel bad to make you feel good is not healthy for anybody. So if they want to talk something out, cool. But if they want to just attack somebody so they feel better about themselves, no. Unacceptable. And I feel like this needs to come forward in an intimate talk, basically how they're making you feel when they're saying certain things. Just so they're at least aware of it. Alright, so if we keep going forward, there's positive cards coming back. Like, it's coming in. And I'm getting here, your partner needs to realize they're standing strong one way or another. But the question is, are they standing in a way that's working against this relationship or a way that's working for this relationship? And I feel like this is a good point for why this talk needs to happen. Because it seems like they're very strong in standing their ground. But by you explaining to them how you're feeling when they're saying what they're saying, I feel like it's like giving them perspective. Like, do they want to stand and they want to be ornery and cranky and make you feel bad and make you not want to be around them? Because that's the result of that. If they make you feel bad when you're around them, sooner or later you're just not going to want to be around them. Or do they want to stand strong and realize, you know what, I do have bad days, and talking this out with my Pisces partner is positive, a good thing, talking it out. But attacking or making my partner feel bad so I feel better, no. Unhealthy, not good, unacceptable. There is no way. That's not good. I'm not going to agree that that's a good thing to do. I'm not going to go there. And the energy's not coming forward trying to say it is, but like I've had arguments with people trying to say, well, sometimes you need to do that. No, sometimes you don't. Sometimes that's unacceptable. That's not okay. It's not sometimes, it's unacceptable. This is going in a more positive direction. I'm feeling like it seems to change fairly quickly, and I'm seeing the lover's side and your side with the Knight of Wands, which is denoting quickness, fast-paced changes, good changes. I'm seeing your partner with the Eight of Wands, which is making things better. Things seem like they can actually turn around fairly quickly because there is love here to build from. So this is a very positive thing. But I feel like what we're trying to impress upon here is like if this pattern is happening, you need to bring it forward. You cannot shy away to the side. You got to bring it forward. I mean, it feels bad enough how they're making you feel if this is connecting anyway. It needs to come forward. You need to tell them how you're feeling, how it's not okay for them to make you feel bad. It's okay and good for them to tell you what they're going through and have to work it out and need to talk it out. Okay, good. But I'm not going to say that again. I'm not going to go there. Because if somebody's making somebody else feel bad, not acceptable. Nope, not going to be okay with it. And again, the energy's not coming through as if it is, but I'm just thinking of arguments I've had with other people, and it gets under my skin. I'm just like, no, you can't make somebody else feel bad to make yourself feel good. No, it's not okay. And people will argue that. It just drives me mad. It's just like, no, it's never okay. No. I'm feeling that aggravation though, because I'm feeling that energy of somebody arguing with me, and it's not the divine energy coming through, but I'm feeling like somebody would argue, like, sometimes you just need to lift yourself up and by whatever means necessary. No, not by making somebody else feel bad. It's a weird energy I'm feeling. It's like it's off to the side. Like I'm feeling like somebody's having this argument where somebody is trying to validate their behavior. I think that's what I'm connecting to. I don't know who I'm connecting to, but like it's like you're trying to explain how you feel and what they're doing and how it makes you feel what they're doing. And they're trying to validate it, saying like, well, I have bad days. Sometimes I just feel bad and I can't help it if I make somebody else feel bad. And just like, there's this argument happening. Bull. It's bull. No. And no all day. No all day. No forever. No. It's not acceptable. If that's how you need to feel, maybe you need to do it with someone else. That's how I feel about that. Not acceptable. No. Because I feel this argument's happening, like somebody's validating like how they treat me. I'm connecting in a Pisces way. I was going to say how they treat a Pisces, but this is how it's coming in. And I'm like, no, you can't make me feel like crap and think that's okay just because you're having a bad day. Failed argument. No. All right, and that energy is now lifting. So I think that's that's what I need to say. So if somebody is arguing with you and saying, hey, everybody has bad days and sometimes I just got to vent it out. And, if I want to make somebody else feel bad, that's just too bad. It might be too bad for you, sir, or ma'am, or whoever you may be, because for them, no. Then you can need to do that with somebody else. Or not at all. You've got the Seven of Cups with growth, and growth is coming in face down, just to be fair. You can grow from this situation. For those of you this is hitting with, and it's a general read, granted, it's holding strong to how this is making you feel and not accepting this energy. If someone is arguing with you and validating this behavior, they don't have to agree with you that it's wrong, but you don't have to accept that it's right. So what you need to do with that is up to you, but accepting that is not right. I feel like a lot of you are going to have some success bringing this forward. Your partner will see, like, yeah, no, I don't mean to make you feel that way. I actually love you. For those of you that your partner actually loves you, they should be connecting in that sense, like, no, I don't want to make somebody I love feel like crap. That's not love. That's something else. And they should be turning this around, and it may be a process of making things better. Like, it's not going to be like everything's, whoa, look, roses, peachy keen, rainbows, pots of gold. Like, no. It's going to be a process, granted, but they should be willing to do that. If they're not, or if they're fighting against it, or they're causing problems in the sense of, like, sometimes I just got to treat people like this. That's not good. So it's up to you what you do with this. Ideas and growth coming forward, like they're saying, take it to heart what you're hearing from your partner. How do they really feel about the behavior? Are they willing to correct it, or are they validating how they're treating you? And you need to decide where you're going to go with this. I almost cringe to say this, but I will say this, and this is definitely this is coming through with the reading. If you decide that you are okay with how they're treating you, and they're not going to change that, and you've decided that you're okay with that, just visualize where that's going to go and how you're going to feel. And realize you are accepting that. You will get more of it, and it will probably get worse. It's kind of like it is your business if you decide that that's something you're going to accept. It's not advised to accept that, but if that's what you've decided, like that's how it is, and I love this person, and that's just who they are, they're going to treat me like this, I just got to accept it. You don't have to accept it, but if you decide to, it's nobody's business to tell you you can't. Which bothers me, but it's like I don't feel like it's a good thing. But if you're deciding that I'm gonna, that's what I want, this is what I have to have, then nobody can pull you out of this. If you want to pull out of this situation, if it's making you feel bad, you have to be the one in power, pulling yourself forward by just starting to say unacceptable, needs to change. Even if your partner won't agree, internally you have to stay with that. I don't agree. This can't keep going. Even if they don't agree, you have to be strong and be like, I believe this is wrong, and then move forward from there. It may be slow steps forward, but if you don't accept it, change has a possibility to happen. If they treat you poorly and you accept it, it's liable to get worse before it gets better. So just keep that in mind. And I think we're there. That was a long one for Pisces and relationships. Seems like it's very specific for somebody. Maybe more than one somebody. But hopefully it makes you feel empowered at the end, or gives you the idea that, I need to be empowered to make this go right. For the majority of you, I feel like it was a good thing. It's just bringing it forward how you're feeling. So we'll see where that goes. Hopefully it's a powerful thing for the people it does hit with. A positive thing. What do we have for Pisces singles? What do we have for single Pisces? Single Pisces empowering messages. That's curious. Okay. So, I do a Celtic cross when I do the singles. And the last two cards, which one is how you view things, like your thoughts, things like that, what's going on in your mind, I should say. And the last one is your final outcome. Those two cards are face down, so I don't know what they are. Which makes me kind of feel like until it happens, you're not going to see it coming. It's going to be kind of out in the lurch until these things get there. And it's like your thoughts are going to change, is what I'm thinking, when you finally get to the outcome. Yep, we're connected by a face down card. Shock. So, for single Pisces, it's weird. Things are a little bit jumbled, is what I'm getting. Things are a little bit out of focus, a little bit in disarray. Not that bad, but it's funny because part of me wants to put them in order and like straighten up all the cards, but I'm getting like that's the point. That things are a little bit disheveled. Not bad, but they're just not lined up perfectly. And I'm pulling into the Four of Cups in the environment. Beware of somebody who's overly critical and like, I'm getting this ruler mentality where like, this lines up with this, and you use the ruler to make sure it's in the right spot, and then you put this on the table, and it should be at a specific angle to the corner. That this book should be on the table this way, and it should, that way it looks nice. And it shouldn't be moved unless it's being used. And this goes here, and this goes right there like that, and you should have it at this precise angle. If you're coming across somebody who's extremely, I don't want to say anal retentive, I feel like particular, like it's to the point where I feel like it's like a sterile house or a sterile hospital situation where this has to be cleaned this way, has to be left in this spot, has to be in plastic, and you can't touch it till it's to be used. And once it's used, you throw it out when you're done. Which is one thing for a hospital setting. It's another thing for a romantic situation. Because I'm feeling something overly technical with the Four of Cups. Like, they like you, they like what they see, they think you're very attractive, and they do like your personality, but they like it to be in control. This is what you do at this time. This is what you do at this time. It feels very rigid. It feels too rigid to me. I don't feel comfortable with it. I'm not saying this person is good or bad. It is a general reading, but I'm feeling like this is a very restrictive energy that could be a problem for you. There's a couple signs that are popping into my head. I hesitate to say them because it's not about the sign themselves. It's about the energy. But it's like I'm feeling like the energy I'm feeling, this person would be very, very vocal, could be easily very vocal, and also kind of like contrary a little bit. Like they'll say things just to get your goat to see what you're thinking, but they'll also be very belittling if you don't do things precisely on point. It's almost like if you make a cake, for example, and maybe the outside edges are a little bit too hard, just a little bit, but the rest of the cake is very good. It's very moist and nice. Otherwise, it's just maybe some of the edges are a little bit too hard. They would be pointing that out for days to come, and they would be bugging you or bothering you with that. Like, too bad you couldn't get those corners. Like, it would have been a great cake, except for they keep pointing out those inadequacies. Like, I'm feeling that energy, if that makes sense. And I'm getting, again, in their opinion, they're like pointing it out so you do it better next time. But on your side, it's just making you be like, the rest of it was good. Why can't you just enjoy it? I understood. I heard you the first time. Yeah, I don't think I really needed your comment. Guess what? I knew those corners were a little bit too hard. Didn't really even need you saying it to begin with. I certainly don't need you reminding me every 5 seconds. And that's the energy I'm feeling here. The thing is, you do like this person. When this person came into your life, like this is a dating situation or something that could possibly become it, this seems like they came right out of left field when they did show up in your life, by the way. This might help you identify who this is. Somebody who came in out of left field, somebody who just kind of shows interest out of the blue, somebody that you're not really sure if you like them, if you don't like them. Attractive, yes, they're attractive, but like you're watching their personality, and sometimes you like their personality, other times you're like, I could really do without. And that seems to be denoting this person more. The thing is with this person also, there was a bell in the distance. Not even sure what that was about. The Nine of Cups is there, and I wanted to say the Queen of Cups for some reason. Which, I'm kind of feeling that, like, there's a lot more passion between the two of you, but there's, like, I feel like there's kind of like a wall feel here. Like, there's walls up. I feel like that's why it's not the Queen of Cups, and it's kind of coming through with the Nine of Cups in a sense. Like, there's a lot here that's good between the two of you. There's a lot here that could go well, but I feel like there's walls. I feel like there's walls blocking things off, and I don't feel like emotions are coming through very easily. I don't feel like, I feel like there's a game playing attitude here. Not like strategic, like for fun, but like this person kind of manipulates people a little bit is kind of what I'm also getting. I am getting an air feel with that. Even though you got the Two of Swords down here, I'm kind of getting it more on the other side. Not that it has to be an air sign, but there's kind of like an intellectual, it feels a little bit out of balance. I want to say it's very particular. It just feels very nitpicky. It feels nitpicky. It bothers me. Now, this is something when you encounter this person, you got the Three of Pentacles with the Eight of Cups, which is interesting because I'm thinking your first initial reaction is kind of like, maybe this isn't for me. They're attractive and all that, but you don't feel good around them. You feel belittled is what I'm getting. And you're kind of like, I could try to make things better, but now that I've fixed the cake, now they're going on about the frosting. And they don't like cream cheese frosting. Well, so what if you don't like cream cheese frosting? Can you get off my butt? Like, seriously. And I feel like it's just like everything you fix, it's like something else is wrong. And you're like, you know what? This person isn't all bad. It's just little things, but these little things are aggravating me. I don't know if this is really for me. I feel like you're kind of going to the side on this one, kind of like, I don't want to keep going with this situation. This is not making me feel the best. It doesn't matter how attractive they are. They make me feel bad. They make me feel like less than like I'm not that good, like I'm not good enough, and it bothers me. And I'm getting the Seven of Wands kind of like, you know what? I think there's something better out there for me. I can do better. I do like this one, but I think I'm going to move on. I'm just going to kind of brush them off. I'm just going to try to walk away. I'm feeling more of a peaceful energy with this. Kind of like you're not telling this person I'm not interested. You're kind of just kind of like, I'm busy, or you know what, that's not for right now. You're just kind of trying to move away, hoping they just lack interest and just leave you alone. And I'm seeing this continue forward even. You've got the Seven of Pentacles in the next situation with pleasure. This person seems to be coming back. They're not disappearing. They may have came in out of the blue, but they're not disappearing is what I'm getting. And now it's almost like they got the hint, like they're being a little bit overcritical and you don't like that and you don't want to be around them when they are. So now they got the pleasure card coming in with this. And now they're being overly complimenting. But you're kind of like, you got that Seven of Pentacles, like, yeah, I see you. Like, you know that I didn't like that, and now you're being overly compensating. Like the compliments coming your way are a bit too much. It's kind of like you like, for example, say you like tulips, so they're giving you a big bushel of tulips with 7 or 8 roses in it, and then they're putting some pearl little accents around it, and like it's over the top. You're like, I like tulips, but you're going way overboard. And you're like, it is nice. It is nice. But you're like way over the top. They're like, this is too much. And you're like, yeah, you're nice now because you know that your personality is going to whip back the other way soon enough. So you're just trying to suck me in. I'm not playing this. What did I do to my ear? Oh, okay. What is your outcome? What is your outcome? This person is not going away. These are your last 2 cards plus the third one. This was all face down. You got the Ten of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands, and the card connecting together is change. Alright, so just to be fair, it is a general read, but this person can be good in your life. They're going to have to relax a little bit, though. You got the 10, like this is going to be a little stressful. If you continue on with this person, and I feel like they're not backing down, they just keep trying to win you over, they're kind of adjusting as necessary because they're realizing if they're too harsh that you're going to just avoid them. So they're trying to kind of get more on your good side. I see you. It's going to be stressful for you, is what I'm getting. But this can be a very stable, dependable relationship. Loyalty seems to be easy with this one. It's just the question, like, can you really withstand it? For this to work out, they're saying things have to change. The way this is going, it just feels like it's a lot of stress, but it could keep going. This is not a relationship at this point, mind you, in the sense of like you're not committed to each other, but it just seems like this person is going to continue and slowly try to whittle you down until you finally give in to them. The change I'm feeling is a conversation. You need to be very open with what they say makes you feel. I feel like honestly, because this person is not going away, and I just, for some reason, they must be attractive, really attractive, or something about them really just, you keep allowing them to be around you for whatever reason. I feel like the best course of action, what I'm connecting here, is to like let them know how it feels, in the sense of like if they're pointing out that stupid cake, like it's a stupid cake, and you're like, all right, I hear you when you say the edges are too hard. Once is enough. And making that point. And kind of like, you know what? I never said I was the world's best baker. Thank you for your comment. Once is enough. And if you expect me to stay in your life, comments, you can make a comment like that. But once is enough. And if I acknowledge that I heard you especially, stop. And also, again, you may also put in there, I don't need you to tell me every little thing I do wrong. Please think about what the situation is. If it's a cake, and it's just for a dessert, and I'm not professing to be the world's best baker, maybe you need to shut your mouth about it. I know that comes off really harsh, but you might have to tell them that. Like, listen, if it's just a cake, and I'm not professing to be the world's best baker, maybe you just need to shut up about it. Maybe I don't really want to hear it. Just tell me, the cake was maybe you need to tell me anything about the cake and I'll get the hang. But, if it's something minimal like that, I don't need your comment. I probably don't even want it. Guess what? Especially when it comes to that cake, I knew that. You didn't need to say it. It was fine. But for example, if we're driving somewhere and I'm driving and you think my driving is erratic and dangerous, granted, you need to say something about that, and if that is warranted, that's different. Lives could be in peril, obviously, but that's the difference. And I feel like that's the change card for you. Like, this may help you on a couple different levels, because in the very beginning, when you're avoiding this person, if you're not really sure you want to go into this a little bit farther, but that you seem to still allow them around you, having these intimate talks could change this whole course. Either they're going to be better, or maybe they don't like that, and maybe they'll start leaving you alone, and maybe that's better for you anyway. But they're saying, change how this is going. Relieve some of your stress, which is that 10 of Wands. Relieve some of your stress. Especially because this does have a chance to become permanent, is what I'm getting with the 10 of Pentacles. If this is going to possibly go that way, talking about how you're feeling, letting them know, communicating that with them. If they walk away, that may be better for you anyway. But if they stick around, they should... It's not going to change their personality, but they should be able to edit a little bit, like how often they tell you things. And, realizing, when it comes to that cake, not saying I'm the world's best baker, so shut your mouth about it. I know that's harsh, but it keeps coming through that way. Like, sometimes I need to just zip it. Like, don't need to hear it. I understand. Thank you. I wasn't going to open a bakery. I wasn't going to do that, so it's okay. You don't need to tell me. Thank you. Anything else? All right, that's how that one's ending. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.